fill the cuff, you would open up the valve, raise this above the level of where you're putting it. So I usually raise it up over my head, and you wait until you'll see the actual splint fill. You'll actually see it fill, and when it gets firm and you feel like it's no longer filling, okay, you close the valve, and then you position this with this device here, the valve outlet, from the canister within 2 to 4 inches of the area that you're treating. Preferably, you want it to be a little above, okay, so that the water is naturally draining out with gravity out of the canister and into the splint-like device. Now, that was how they originally sold this unit. Since then, they've actually developed pumps for it that will help recirculate the cold. And you fill it the same way. You raise it up until the splint-like device is filled and is no longer filling. You close the valve, you put it 2 to 4 inches, and then attached to this device, it actually has on here on-off and then shoulder only. 2 different devices. So if you're doing an ankle, you just hit on-off, it goes on, and you're going to hear it every 60 seconds or so. It'll make a noise, and it's recirculating it with the pump to make sure that it's continuously changing. So once you set this, you can walk away. Come back in a few minutes, make sure it's not too cold. Okay. So these are really nice devices. Anyone interested in feeling it quick? Ankle? What?
Shoulder.
Shoulder? So this is the shoulder. There is a couple of knee ones and an ankle. Note that the valve generally goes up. So this would be the appropriate placement on the knee, not this way. Okay. For the shoulder, it really is kind of moved. So again, I'd want to put a layer on. I'm just gonna go for it.
Good grab that.
Yeah. Attach it until it clicks. Yeah. And then we close it. Put it 2 to 4 inches. And then we hit on and shoulder. And so you're going to hear it humming. And it's going to periodically recirculate the water. Why does it need to periodically recirculate? Because if it were just to sit there, okay, eventually it would warm, right? And it would no longer be cooling it. So by recirculating, we're constantly keeping the coldest water mixture near the shoulder, so it's a continuous cold. It doesn't dissipate over time, like a hot pack does, or a typical cold pack does. Okay. And this is really a nice device, a nice unit, because it does provide that low-level compression. Now for him, I'd want to put a pillow under his arm and get him positioned more comfortably. But I want to make sure that I don't get too much abduction, because it's going to pull it away from the top of the shoulder. And if he's an impingement, right, that's where you feel it. That's where I want the cold. Okay? So that's cryo cuff, the basic cryo cuff. You should all now shut off, and in about 60 seconds or so, it will recirculate again. Okay. Right, not this way, this way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's 2 to 4 inches, generally above, so that the water is thick. The pump, if you put it down here and the pump has to go uphill, it's not very sure. So you generally want to help it. So I usually want it 2 to 4 inches. Like above, so now it's going again.
Now, does it pull the water out of the cup and then put more in when it circulates, or is it just circulating inside?
No, it's circulating out back to the bucket.
Okay.
So once it stops, then the water begins to slowly drain back, and then the pump pumps the water in. Okay. So everybody should feel the cryo cuff. Again, there's a knee, there's a foot and ankle. Please, for the foot and ankle, use a barrier to keep it
Do
clean.
you have any stockinette up there still?
I forgot to look. Jeez.
Well, bring a tube sock
Yeah.
request. Next
Bring a
week
clean
or
tube
Wednesday.
sock.
Bring a clean tube sock.
So
you
that-
can put a sock on.
Yes, because it's easier to wipe off the inside of this, but with the foot it can kind of get gnarly. So, I don't know how else to term that, but gnarly. So,
Or
now.
you can put your foot in a pillowcase.
There you
The
go,
other
put
thing.
your foot.
Put your foot in a pillowcase.
Now, when you're done with the treatment, okay, you would turn the device off, okay? Now, there's still fluid in here, so you need to make sure that you get that fluid out. So if you can actually hear the fluid back in. Make sure you really bring it out, because any water that sits in there, yeah. And then I have to pour Clorox bleach in there.
And when you unplug it, the water shoots out.
If
If it's full of water.
And then what we usually do, and I'm sure you guys saw this last semester, is we hang it over the sink through these little handles, just let it drain out some more, okay? To make sure that it fully dries. And then empty it, and make sure the inside is dry. Don't leave it wet in there, don't leave that insulation in there, put it out so it can dry. That,
Yeah, leave it open.
So that's the cryo cuff. I'm gonna wait on the second one, let's just get this one first. That one's actually easier to use. But this is the one that's more difficult, so this is the one that I want you to be able to do, because that's the one I'm gonna put on cryo.
Still 10 on, 10 off.
Well, for this, I usually just go the full 15 minutes, because I don't wanna have to go over and physically turn it off and come back physically turn it on. The 10 on, 10 off is instructions I give the patient at home.
Okay.
10 on, 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 10 minutes on, and every hour or two. Is the home instructions. But when I have them in a clinic, it's too time consuming to go back and forth. So I usually do 10 to 15 minutes till it goes numb, and then. All right, so any questions on what we did this morning? Hot packs, cold packs, cryo cup. Paraffin's a little hot this morning, so I'm waiting to see if the temperature cools down a little bit this afternoon. Sometimes when it first is melting wax, it really increases the temperature. I don't want you sticking your hands in there yet. So we're gonna wait till this afternoon for the paraffin, and ice massage. Probably do ice massage. Okay, so make sure you deliver a full treatment of everything to yourself at some level, or someone does it for you. Practice the verbiage. That's where people get caught up on the practicals. It's not that they don't know how to do it. It's just that the verbiage is off, and then once they get nervous with the verbiage, that's when they start putting the hot pack on backwards. I've actually had people put towels on and put the hot pack against the person with the towels away from the person. And that's nerves. It's nerves. But if you get to the point where it's a habit almost, where you're doing it without thinking, it's a lot better for you. So practice is the key.
And again,
in this
test your
class.
sensation first and ask your precaution, contraindication and questions first, then put the hot pack on. Okay, because once you put the hot pack on, we just say, yeah.
And then, and now we
Yeah,
test
come
sensation.
radiate. Didn't
Too
test
late.
sensation, you didn't ask the question.
All right, so, this afternoon then is open lab. We don't have a test. Yay! Nobody's excited. You're welcome. Is it your first test? So you'll have lots of time to practice. Okay. So make sure you're going through the questions.
And the hot packs will be all warmed up.
Yep, hot packs, and then
Rewarmed.
hopefully we'll cup and you'll have lots of